Thank you for the introduction. We are excited to present our work here today. There are many dimensions to human diversity. We most often think about gender identity and race, but it is really the combination of all of these factors that provide us with our unique identities. There are many benefits to human diversity in science and medicine. Underrepresented students have been shown to innovate at higher rates. Minority physicians are more likely to work in underserved areas. Patients who share a similar background with their physicians often have better outcomes. And science is more likely to be relevant if scientists reflect society. That being said, racial and ethnic diversity in orthopedic medicine has actually declined. Here showing the average percentage of racial minority residents in surgical training programs, orthopedic surgery is at the bottom. And from 2006 to 2015, this number has further decreased. Now looking at gender disparities in orthopedic research, in 2019, the Orthopaedic Research Society compiled data which showed that 22.5% of active members or faculty members were female, and this percentage only marginally increased in the associate member or student member population at 27.1%. And so these data suggest that we have much room for improvement with diversity in orthopedics. We as a McKay DEI committee are interested in ways in which we can reinforce the traditional STEM pipeline through early exposure to research. And so we have recently launched the McKay Conference Grant Program. This is an educational and networking opportunity for underrepresented undergraduates to attend a research conference for free. And the innovation here is really that the students need no prior research experience in orthopedics to apply. This is not just a fee waiver. We cover all costs to the students and provide pre-conference programming and mentorship to help them get the most out of the experience. So far, we have hosted 3 application cycles: the ORS 2021 meeting, the SB3C 2021 meeting, and the ORS 2022 meeting. We therefore have applicant data from these 3 cycles and participant data from the first 2 cycles. Over 40% of our applicants attended either a Hispanic serving institution, historically Black college or university, primarily undergraduate institution, or community college. Looking further at our applicant pool, we see an increasing number of applicants with class year, maybe receiving more applications from seniors due to increased canceled opportunities with the pandemic. And we found that the majority of the students majored in either biomedical engineering or biology. And 55% of the students majored in a science discipline, and 45% of the students majored in an engineering discipline. Now looking at applicant reported career goals, we asked the students to write a paragraph about how this award would help them reach their academic and career goals. And we found that 70% of the students wanted to pursue a graduate degree after undergrad, and most of these students wanted to go to medical school. The other 30% of the students applied more so to explore a potential career in research. Lastly, we asked the students to describe an obstacle that has limited their accessibility to research, and we sorted these responses into 9 categories. The predominant obstacle here were lack of mentors, meaning that the students were largely unaware of opportunities available to them. Next, we have pandemic cancellations, limited opportunities at home institution, finances, citizenship for international students, confidence or feeling of not belonging, mostly tied to their identity. And lastly, we have family responsibilities, disability, and GPA requirements. So looking at this chart as a whole, while we collected this data after the launch of our program, these factors are really the primary motivations behind the McKay Conference Grant Program and why we continue to require no prior research experience to apply. To select our participants, a panel of 5 DEI committee members assessed each student with a preset rubric, and we discussed the top scoring applicants. We strongly considered the career statement, the obstacle statement, background coursework, and overall interest in orthopedics. And overall, we selected 6 students for the ORS 2021 meeting and 5 students for the SB3C 2021 meeting. Over 90% of our participants identified as female. For race, we had 45.5% Asian, 13.6% Black or African American, 4.5% Hispanic Latin, and 36.4% white. Over 27% of our students identified as a first-generation college student, and over 27% of our students identified as a member of the LGBTQIA+ community. The selected participants attended 11 different universities across the United States. To make this opportunity accessible to first-time attendees, we hosted a pre-conference logistics meeting to go over the online conference platform, discuss different types of presentations, conference highlights, the online schedule, and provide general tips for networking. We also assigned mentor pairings between members of the McKay community and our participants. And this was really to create a sense of community, especially because these conferences were virtual. In our post-conference survey, we found that 100% of the students reported that they would likely contact their mentor again for research and/or career advice. Moving from the ORS 2021 to the SB3C 2021 meeting, we also wanted to provide additional background for these students to better understand the conference material. And so we created an orthopedics crash course in which we went over the conference themes, orthopedic tissues, and common assays and techniques. We found that this crash course enhanced conference understanding. This plot showing the percentage of conference content understood. While we do have a limited sample size, we see a rightward shift in this graph with the SB3C 2021 cohort who received the crash course prior to attending the conference. We also found that this conference experience increased excitement about a career in orthopedics. This graph shows the pairwise data from each of our participants, and there was a significant increase in the likelihood of pursuing a career in orthopedic research. One student also stated, "This program helped me see what I could do with my future. The program helped me clarify my plans for graduate school and intended career plans in orthopedics." Moving forward, we are actively translating this program to in-person meetings. And for in-person travel, we are really looking at local applicants to simplify logistics and offer a local support network after the meeting. For this, we are going in person to local universities to establish connections with faculty, as that is how most of our previous students heard about our program from direct mentors. We are also actively fundraising. We would like to provide this experience with zero out-of-pocket costs for students, and these costs include hotel, registration, food, flight, and transit to the airport. We are pursuing both internal and external funding sources. Overall, we have established a blueprint for making academic programming more inclusive and accessible to new learners. And a similar blueprint could be followed for university-wide events such as seminars, and this is something that we are actively pursuing with the McKay Semester Scholars Program. We would love for the Conference Grant Program to spread to other universities, and we welcome you to reach out if you have any questions, and we are happy to provide any materials and tips to carry out this program. With that, I would like to thank the McKay DEI Committee, SB3C, ORS, and our financial support to date, and I am happy to take any questions. Thank you.